Two things really drive heat in Western Sydney, and that is the urban expansion that we see and the transformation from green space to grey space. And we see climate change unfolding in the West very intensively. So for Western Sydney, we're predicting more frequent heat, more intensive heat, and also overall more maximum temperatures towards 50 degrees air temperature. And that, of course, means that your living conditions getting very hard.
So Council did the heat sensor project to get a much better understanding of heat across our region. We know it's really hot already, but we really wanted to get understanding of where our hotspots were so we can work better at alleviating some of that heat. The heat sensor project involved putting over 120 heat sensors across our region. They took temperature measurements every 10 minutes and gave us a really good understanding of heat across our region. A key part of that is looking at how our urban areas compare with other more natural areas and where our hotspots are.
So one of the really outstanding values is that we now understand the variability of heat across the council area. Nobody knew that before because there's only one official weather station. Now we know that, for example, even in the urban core of St. Mary's, we find temperature differences of several degrees throughout the day and particularly throughout the night.
Having data is really important about making better decisions. We know that Western Sydney is quite hot in summer, but it's really about using that data strategically to work out where we can do things like planting trees to create cooler communities. So we're using it in two ways. Partly we're using it to inform our green grid strategy, so that's really identifying where we'll plant trees in the future. But we're also using it to advocate for better quality development, so using that scientifically valid results to really push for better quality development across Western Sydney.
Urban heat is omnipresent. It doesn't stop at any boundary or any suburb. So when you think of buildings, it's really important to think about the color of materials that you're using. And we know from numerous studies, not only in Western Sydney, but around the world, that dark colors will add heat to the environment, whereas lighter colors will help to mitigate heat. So if we don't address heat right now and seriously, it will get harder and harder to address it in the future because a lot of means that we implement to actually mitigate the increasing heat take time to develop and unfold their effect. So if we don't do that now, it will be harder and harder to do it in the future because we are battling against more and more heat.